Well, the belts have arrived, so it's time now to fit the belts on the cassette deck of this VZ-2500. It's a simple enough job. Need to remove 4 screws. There's one down here, one on this side, and one down there. Simple enough to find. It should then allow this to move away and we can gain access to the rear. The tape counter belt's easy enough to change. It's just on the top. We'll do that one last. Might have to unplug a few of the connections and just move things around a little bit. But we just want to gain access to the rear of the unit. I decided I was going to set this off as well. There's a screw just down the small shaft there. Just give me a little bit more room. That now gives us access to the 4 screws on the back that we need to remove to gain access to the belts. I'll flip the motor over. I'll put a little X next to the screws that need to be removed. It's only 4. Some people say to remove the motor wires, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know whether we can flip this forward. This is a learning curve for me, so I'll just see first. Some people also remove these wires, but I think the whole thing can flip this way. I'm not sure. This bottom corner screw, there is a grounding lug, so just be careful with that. Can't really see anything else that's going to be a major issue, but hopefully we should be able to just lift it off now. And that seems to give us access to the belts. Oh, that's just fell out somewhere. I'll find out where that came from. We've got 3 belts in total. I've taken the belts off, taken capstan and wheel off. It's just a question of refeeding everything back on. I just want to give it a little bit of a clean and a grease if it needs it first, and then we'll put it back together. Oh, it's not the easiest thing to feed the belts on. This belt's simple enough to do. The main capstan, there's 2 little plastic lugs over here, so what I've done, I've dropped them over there, and the same with the belt that comes off. I think it's either the main plate or the fast forward one, whichever it is, but it comes off this large diameter wheel. And there's some little lugs, so I've just dropped it over there. Hopefully when I drop the top back over, I should be able to just unclip them from there and they should locate. We can give it a go. I won't film this because I'll need both hands, to be honest. Well, that was the easiest way to do it. I think in their hindsight when they built this, they must have built these little lugs just specifically for that job. So they dropped one over this pin, one over this pin. Put it all back together with a pair of tweezers or something, just slowly lift them up and drop them onto the motor spindles. That was easy enough. So it's now just a question of putting it back together and see if it still works. Oh, and that bit that fell out was this. I've just got the one belt to put on here, which I can do that from the top. But yeah, no need to disconnect the motor wires, no need to disconnect the solenoid. Just 4 screws, lift him over, take a few photos, which I did, I'll show you those. I've spun it over, dropped him back in. The only thing you have to look at is that there's a lever just there. There's a lever just there that must locate into this sliding shaft. I fitted the tape counter belt. The folded length of that belt is roughly 70mm. And it's 1.2 to 1.5 thickness. Simple enough to fit. I will put full details of all the sort of belts that I've bought and sizes I haven't changed the pinch roller, by the way, because it looks okay on this one. I'm going to leave that for now. But yeah, I mean, everything's coming together now. All we're going to do now is get the lid on, and we'll give it a test. Okay, I'll put them all together. I dropped a tape in just to do a quick test. We'll try play it. Well, at least we know that part's working. Stop that. Let's try it. Fast forward. Let's leave it going for a little bit. Let's try rewind. Actually, what we'll do, we'll take the tape out because it's got the most weight on it. And that's working fine. So it was just up there a minute. All it was with this unit was just the belts. I have seen issues where there's this tiny cod here develops cracks, but fortunately this one hasn't suffered with that. So I'm happy. The unit's working now. I need to put it back together. I have 3D printed some new control knobs as a quick test, which are just here. I will put the STL files on one of the web-based programs. These were just test ones. These I need to just mess around with the settings just to get them a bit smoother, but they do work quite nice, and they do pull on and off quite simply. So I will publish the information for those. Well, I'm just going to put the front back on, and then we'll just give it a complete test, and hopefully it's all working. Well, it's back together. Just the reverse of dismantling it. Simple enough. Watch video 1 or 2, whatever which one it was I did it in. Sorted out this door, so it actually opens on its own nicely. A little bit of lubrication, that's all that needed. That's nice. The tape player, now fast forwards, rewinds. I won't press play because I keep getting caught for copyright on this side. I've had to make a few buttons. Only had 1, 2, 3. I've made that one, and made the tape select on the opposite side. But other than that, everything seems to be working fine now. These are all very sticky. These will work fine now. Tuner's working. So that's all working fine. The phono works great. Don't use long wave, medium wave, short wave. It's not something I've used in a few years. But the FM's useful. The auxiliary, I was thinking of putting a Bluetooth device into this, but I think I want to keep it original. So it has got the auxiliary at the back, where I might just sort of put a bit of Velcro and a module on there, so it's an external module, so you can link it to your phone or whatever. I'm not going to do any more work on it than what I've done. There are a few scratches here and there, but it's had a hard life and deserves to show it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching this little series of dismantle belt changes for the cassette and the turntable. Hopefully it might help somebody that wants to tackle this job. It probably takes longer to take all the casing apart than it does to do the rest of the jobs. The belt's not too bad on this, but there are 2 belts on there, and there's about 3 or 4 inside here. Allocate half a day to do it, but yeah, it's simple enough. And I'll show you the belts that I actually purchased.